Café Anyway. WelcWelcome to Café Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
3,203. That's the episode today. 3203. I'm Mike Matthews. Welcome.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
To podCastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica. We're broadcasting from Café Anyway. And if you say the word when you're trying to talk to somebody or do a speech or do a podcast, you're going to lose your audience fast. Just letting you know, try not to use the word It is a placeholder.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Saying to your brain, I am trying to keep people
Mike's
thinking that
Daily
I know what I'm about to say
Podcast.
Next.
Yeah!
But in fact, you don't! You have no clue! It's fascinating. Kardashians. Well, I don't think they ever say anything that they thought up. I think it's all written out for them ahead of time. It's the worst of the reality TV shows. Not that, well, worse reality TV show, those two words are interchangeable. The worst thing that ever happened on this planet was reality TV show. Okay, yeah, war, murder, pestilence, blight, evil, crime, sadness, pain, sorrow. All these things are probably worse. But I really don't like reality TV. I never liked it when it emerged, when it reared its ugly head in the late 80s, early 90s. I take it all the way. I blame Current Affair. I go all the way back that far, even though that wasn't really reality TV. Cops. But I guess the things that came after it, all the MTV stuff and everything. But back to the Kardashians. I thought they would be on like season 70, but they're only on season 7. It premiered about a month ago, not as buzzworthy as in the past. The previous season had almost 4 million views across Hulu and Disney Plus within its first 4 days. The show missed the weekly ratings at other times.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The weekly rankings, it missed those at other times. Podcast picture's not of the Kardashians, although I'd probably get way more views if it was. But no, it is just of the beautiful town of Niles. And they set up these cool little window displays that have to do with Christmas. And Niles is this amazing little town next to it's part of Fremont, but it's up against this hill. The late great Basil the Boxer and I used to go there. It's got these man-made lakes. They're quarry lakes. They were quarries that dug stuff out of the ground to use in the Bay Area, and then they filled them up, made them lakes. And they're very pretty to look at. I think you can even use a boat on them when the algae count isn't too high. And that's, of course, really bad for dogs when the algae count is huge. But you can walk around downtown Niles. It feels like you're in kind of an Old West town. I guess an Old West town. And Charlie Chaplin filmed a couple movies there. There was a guy named Buffalo Bill that got really big. Or was it Bronco Billy? Something like that. He got really big. He was this cowboy type thing going on the silent movie screens. And you can actually watch old silent movies at their theater there, and they're always looking for donations, just throwing that out there. I don't get anything from them, and I shouldn't, because they're trying to make it on their own with just the public's help. So that's my little plug for them. And they used to do, I don't know if they do it anymore. I didn't see it this year, a Dia de los Muertos Day, and that was so awesome. I took the late great Basil the Boxer there too, in one of his final years on this planet. But my point is that's what the podcast picture is. And you can see it at mikesdailypodcast.com.
I can't hear you. Press the button, you donut.
They have donuts there, too. Or they used to. They got a couple restaurants going on in the area in Niles. And there's a train that goes by. It's very train-oriented. Very Old West, but California, but showbiz, California in the Old West type thing. Yeah. Oh, and there's a pizza place. Hey, that has nothing to do with the Kardashians, but in the official trailer that came out about a month ago, Kim revealed a shocking claim that she got a call from investigators saying someone very close to her put out a hit on her life. Wow. That's what they used. Was it all lies? Here's what it comes down to is how many followers they have on Instascam. Kim has...
Danger, Will Robinson.
And that's right. Instascam is a danger. Be careful of that. Getting sucked into that world. But who has more followers on Instascam? Kylie or Kim? Bam, bam, bam. No, I can't do that because I'll get sued by Merv Griffin even though he died. The winner is Kylie Jenner. 392 million followers on Instagram, but just behind her about 60... I can't do math. Yeah, we'll say about 30-ish. 30 million followers less than Kylie. The family, the Kardashian and Jenner clan, have a combined following of over 2 billion followers.
Do you people really think you can get healthy by eating protein Doritos?
And I'm sure that if I eat protein Doritos, it's protein. It's really good for me, the protein. Because I don't get enough protein because of all the weight loss drugs that I take. And I don't know if that's what she said, but 2 billion across Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the social media out there. They have a combined following of 2 billion. Kim Kardashian is worth more than Kylie, though. She is worth about $1.7 billion. That's due to her Skims thing, the shapewear, loungewear stuff, the clothing stuff that she sells. She hawks. We used to say the word hawk. Remember that? Then there was Ethan Hawke and then his daughter, and she's going to be in the Stranger Things thing. I'm using the word thing way too much. Is that why you're bald, Mike? Yes, because I used the word thing too much. Okay. The Thing was a weird movie with Kurt Russell years ago. That's very, 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 very gross. But back to the Kardashians. Kylie Jenner, she's worth about 710 million. So not the billions that Kim is. But she's doing well. She's got the Kylie Cosmetics. She sold 51% of Kylie Cosmetics to Coty, whatever that is. That was 5 years ago. And she sold it for 600 million, thus contributing to her worth. As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in PodCastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica, with all these topicas. We're broadcasting from Café Anyway, and you can find us on YouTube. We got a YouTube channel there. Mike's Daily Podcast is the name, at Mike's Daily Podcast, if that's another way you want to find it. Or there's a link at mikesdailypodcast.com. But on YouTube, Mr. Beast definitely rules the YouTube roost. He often rewards thousands or millions of dollars to contestants. That might be why he's so popular, that participate in his various viral challenges. That's what radio did for years and years and years. Radio, it probably still does it, gets people to listen by holding that carrot up there and assuming you're a donkey, thinking you're a jackass. That's what radio thinks of you, by dangling that dollar bill carrot over your head.
And they have 150 to 200 gas pumps.
What?
Okay. What?
What?
Massive. It's like a Walmart-sized
all at Café Anyway
store.
I'll say.
And inside is anything you can
anything you would ever imagine is there at Café Anyway.
Chicken.
So it's like a truck stop on steroids.
Steroids!
Oh, at least.
Okay.
That's
maybe
right.
A quadruple dose of steroids.
I'm surprised.
No, radio stations would do. Be listening tomorrow morning at 5 after the hour for your chance to win $3,000. That kind of thing. So Mr. Beast has tapped into that and gotten a bunch of people. Got his viral challenges going on that people thought were cool, and then branched out to Amazon Prime, gave him his own show. And then I saw the commercials for it and was, I'm not going to watch that. His jaw freaks me out. The 446 million subscribers strong content creator. Relax, guy. Sorry. content creator just completely demoralizes me to the absolute nth degree. Content.
Mike is awesome.
Thank you. I got the story. I got this content from that guy right there. He uses that word too much. Rob Black. I produce his podcast. He's heard on AM 1220 KDOW. Weekdays at 5 in the afternoon, evening now. And on Cron TV Monday through Thursday in the 9 o'clock hour. I know content is a catch-all word because we don't want to say specifically what it is. What is it that Mr. Beast does? He does videos. He's not a content creator. He's a video creator. He's a video maker. But that's for some reason that you got to say content to sound cool. You got to say vibe to sound cool. You got to say protein to sound cool. So he's filed a trademark for Mr. Beast Financial. The application lists plans for a mobile app and online services. The patent covers a range of banking, financial advice. It's a trap! That's what it sounds like. Thank you. General Akbar. Oh, I'm watching a thing on Star Wars. Wow, the first movie. Let's all just forget about everything that Disney has done and all the. Let's go back to the original. That phenomenon that got people to, like me as a kid, to go back and see it several times. And George Lucas from Modesto, California, Star Wars, really, it all goes to his wife. Is it Martha? Martha Lucas?
Isn't this cool? Go figure.
Marcia!
I'll be darned.
Oh, hey!
I bet a lot of people come up here and it's still stand and be here forever.
Arby, your TV man stopped by.
Huh.
Thanks for stopping by. Café Anyway. Yes, you're cool, Russ. I love his channel. I watch his videos and fall asleep. But I'm like thinking, because, if you ever drove with a parent or a family member or a friend when you were a kid, that somebody was driving you somewhere, long distance trip, you'd fall asleep because you had total trust in them. They're going to get me to the destination, like I did with my dad. We would drive from North Hollywood to Marina Del Rey on Saturday afternoons. That I would always conk out. My dad had unlike my voice, he had a very soft, soothing, he would have been great on podcasting because he had a very, SMR voice. ASMR? The thing that makes you fall asleep and zone out. And all the alpha waves are going on in your brain and everything. He had that kind of a voice and just knock me out. And that's what Russ does on RV or TV channel. I'll watch his cameras are perfect, top notch. He's using GoPro or something.
Why do they always interrupt our snacking?
Oh.
You're a demon.
Get out of here, demon hunters. We don't need you around here, K-pop demon hunters. Get out of here. So what I was saying, somebody was trying to tell me, so that was huge this year on Netflix, the K-pop Demon Hunters. And someone was trying to tell me, Netflix isn't relevant anymore. And this is a guy who's all up in the world of Silicon Valley business and just totally in tune with all the tech going on. Although sometimes he'll tell me something like, hey, I use this new system called... What is that thing they use that helps the people, the basic, awful idiot-fluencers do really good-looking videos, and it chops out all of their flubs, and where they would stop and go, I don't know what to say next. It's Descript, something like that. Anyway, Descript, and it will take out all your uhs and your stumbles and your flubs. It'll even change your voice to make you sound better. It'll take your video, and as you're talking to the camera like I'm doing, if you want to see the video, go to mikesdailypodcast.com and scroll down the page. You'll see
This is Judge Clinton Cop in San
George
Francisco. I'm trying to get the telephone number. Get me the number into the studio. I'm supposed to be on the radio.
Thank you. You're on the radio.
Cheer.
You are... You as well, be a good cheer. Thank you for calling into the show. there's a thing that says see the video of the podcast here, which takes you to my twitch.tv page, which if YouTube doesn't stop pushing the most ridiculous ads in my face, all of them starting with, this is what the government doesn't want you to know, or this is what health, fitness people don't want you to know, or this is what supermodels don't want you to know. This is their secret. This is their secret weapon. I pour oil all over my face and light it on fire. I don't know. All kinds of stupid things they suggest to me. I immediately skip. Thank goodness they let you still skip. Because I don't pay for the ad-free stuff. Because I'm cheap. So, back to Marcia Lucas. She was the previous wife to George Lucas, and apparently an amazing editor. And what you see on the screen on Star Wars has a lot to do with her, because he would have told the story in a completely boring, horrible, added all these scenes in there. And if you've ever seen any of the stuff on YouTube, stuff that didn't make it into any particular movie that George Lucas did, you see that he shoots a lot of stuff that's just irrelevant. Like, oh, thank goodness that did make it into the movie. The movie would have been awful if that scene had been in there. I would have had edited the movie myself not to see it.
It didn't go quite as planned.
Yeah.
Watch here.
Watch here. Watch what I'm saying if you're watching on Twitch. But don't, because it's boring on Twitch. But it's exciting here on the audio, because I'm explaining things. So let's hear it for Marcia Lucas, because she did so much to make that Star Wars movie excellent. She also helped out tremendously with the American Graffiti movie. So she, Marcia Lou Griffin is her maiden name. Born in 1945. Amazing. It just tells you so much about a good movie. A really good movie comes down to the editing, and a really awful movie comes down to the editing. Like, why didn't they just chop out more? A lot of the guy who did the Knocked Up movie and those films, he did the Punchline, 40-Year-Old Virgin, that guy, Apatow. Judd Apatow, he can't edit at all. He leaves everything in there, and those movies go on way too long. So, kind of like this podcast and me describing what's wrong with movies that aren't edited well. But back to Mr. Beast. We've covered everything.
Look, I'm not here to screw around, man.
No.
Like, I got plenty of other things to do.
You've got other things to do, so you want me to get to the point.
When I got my downtime, yeah, man.
Yeah, what do you do?
I'll be playing Escape from Tarkov or PUBG or
you play that.
Xbox, maybe a little Hoi 4 or some Anno 1800, whatever, man.
I don't know what any of that is, but that sounds really wonderful.
Yeah, I'm more on the competitive front on the Smash Brothers. That's like my big game.
Bro, give me the sticks, baby.
Give me those sticks. I don't know what this is. Be a much more popular podcast if I talk gaming stuff, huh? Okay. Get to the point. Is what it all comes down to with George Lucas movies. Marcia had to tell George, get to the point, and had to edit stuff out. She actually, this is the one fascinating thing that I pulled out of watching this documentary on Amazon about Star Wars. It was her idea to make, at the end of the movie, they weren't going to even have that whole dogfight and blowing up the Death Star thing. 20th Century Fox wanted that out of the movie. It's out of the picture. But she said, no, you've got to have that act. You've got to have that, build that tension. And she built the tension even more by setting a time limit. Remember how the Peter Cushing character, Tarkov or something, he is... I don't remember any characters. I know you see that. I don't remember any characters' names except for Han Solo, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker. So, C-3PO. Can't remember a couple. R2-D2. They're waiting for the planet that they're on, that the Resistance is on. They're waiting for that planet to come into view so they can zap it with the Death Star. That whole thing was made in post. They didn't shoot. They took scenes from a previous scene in the movie when they blew up Princess Leia's planet. They took scenes from that and rearranged it and edited it in such a way to make you think, oh, wow, they really are about to blow up the planet that the resistance is on. And, oh, my gosh, I hope they do it soon. There's only 6 minutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's when, originally they were going to have Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, try 3 times to shoot the photon torpedoes into the duct that blows up the planet, the Death Star. And he was going to miss twice. And they said, no, just have him do it once. And you got to have Han Solo.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
And Han Solo will say that to Princess Leia because he'll want to come by and pick her up later. But that's what I found out. And it is so cool to tell you these fascinating things that you maybe didn't know. Like Mr. Beast wanting to get you into crypto. Oh, that's a bad idea. Yes, financial advisory is part of his company that he's launching. Mr. Beast Financial. Banking, crypto exchange, and other services. He's going to have student loans, credit insights, which I can see that can be really good for the young people that are really into Mr. Beast. They may be starting out with credit cards and just getting into a bad cycle, bad habits. I'm hoping he's going to help them, or he's going to make a profit over them. Also, he's going to have insurance supported by financial literacy content. There's that awful word again. The services will be targeted toward the vast, growing, and predominantly young Mr. Beast audience. When I see words like financial literacy content, it makes me wonder what that's just somebody saying. When they use the word content, that means they don't know what to describe it as. They don't know a noun. So is that going to be actual helpful learning lectures, or is it going to be books? Are they going to give me financial literacy books? Is there going to be a teacher I'm going to go see? I have to go to a Zoom call and sit with a teacher. What is that exactly? Well, they don't know.
Mike makes music.
So they just call it content. And Mike is not content with that word called content. The services will be targeted toward the vast, growing, and predominantly young Mr. Beast audience. The world's top YouTuber channel is approaching, an idiotfluencer, is approaching 100 billion views. The channel is accruing over 3 billion views per month on average. 3 billion. Yikes. So that is happening with that. Young people, don't get involved with that. Don't. You need someone who is an expert. Mr. Beast is not an expert. He's a showman. He just wants to be popular, wants to be the biggest thing. He's had a couple other things he's tried to sell. He's just an entrepreneur. And I would not go down that road. Look who is here outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in podCastro Valley. Hi, Mac. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. How y'all doing? I got my horse Nye. And the Disgruntled Fiddle Player tell you what. What? What's this Mr. Beast all about? Kind of makes me sound like I don't know what's going on in the world today when I ask you questions like that. But actually, I know cool things are happening, like some new movie called Star Wars is coming out. No, that came out in the 70s. The 70s. They were working on that in the mid-70s when sci-fi, believe it or not, was actually pretty much dead. Nothing was coming out much except, what was there, Logan's Run? We're talking about the word Logan in a recent podcast. Ooh! And I did a oops. I said I never been on an Uber before. That's wrong. I have never used the Uber app. I've never used the Lyft app, but I have been in an Uber before. I don't think I've been in a Lyft before. But I take that back just to clarify. There you go. Thanks, Mark. That's very helpful. Look who else is here. Hello, Mark. I make delicious root beer. Have some right now. I would love to. Thank you. Oh, man. I have just... my throat lately. It has been revolting here at Café Anyway. Maybe we have spores growing. I don't know, but... it's good to be outside, to get the fresh air, and to drink your delicious root beer. How are things going in the root beer vat area?
Yeah, that's in the basement of Café Anyway, where I got all the root beer vats and I make the root beer. It's delicious. Drink right now. I'll cut you. Oh, boy.
I'm going to have one more sip. Well, that was good. It was a quick sip, so it didn't really help. But all right. What do you think about all of that stuff we covered on this fascinating episode? Here's the number to call.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
And this wasn't a caller into the podcast, but a caller on a national show. And I know politics, there's a lot we don't trust about politicians. There was recently a supervisor of the area in San Francisco known as the Sunset District that had to step down. She was all of 29. She was picked by Mayor Daniel Lurie, and she looked like an infant. I don't know what he was thinking. He appoints her as the supervisor for the Sunset District in San Francisco. Very nice area near the ocean. And she had on her record had owned all her political experience was nothing. All she had was she ran a pet store, and apparently this pet store was so badly managed, and she used to pay people under the table, and it was clean. No, it was not clean. It was the opposite of clean and disgusting in there, and those poor animals. And I think they finally tracked down the information about the truth with her, and she was exposed is what I'm saying. And Mayor Daniel Lurie asked her to go, but it goes to show, and the mayor has he been mayor for a year? I think it's been less than that, but he has to learn about doing good hires. How he didn't know this was going on in her background, I don't know. But I have hired people before and did a bad job. I did an awful job a couple times. It's only been recently I've done an excellent job finding some perfect people. But it's amazing what people will say to you to get the job. You have to go and become a total research archaeologist, get there into the history of these people that are applying for the job and see if they are lying. Obviously she was, or just not saying the entire truth, because that's the way politics work. A lot of people get into positions of power by lying their way in. And some people think that the whole election process is still a lie, like this person did during the recent election in the Ventura County area.
We actually scheduled a whole bunch of people to watch the drop boxes so we wouldn't have any shenanigans going on there. We followed the persons that picked up the ballots to the election center in Ventura Government Center and made sure they arrived without excess baggage to accompany them. So with that being said, when the results were posted on It's Official, yes, on 50 had won, we knew they didn't have time to count because we stood there and watched every single person arrive in Ventura County.
Now, the host of this show is a conservative who actually told this lady that, hey, I think you're being a little too paranoid. I think the process was legal there in California. The majority did want Proposition 50 passed. And it is interesting that when Democrats lose, they don't bring up all these conspiracy theories, except for that one about how Elon Musk used Starlink to help Trump win last election. Oh, yeah, and the whole Russian thing, the election before that. Just don't let it run away with you. Just don't let it go insane. Just calm down.
Yeah, I'm always looking for challenges.
And with all things having to do with Mike's Daily Podcast, we go to the mainframe and hear from A-Frame. And I wish you all the best. And, go out there and be careful. Be careful with the crypto. Watch out for these things. How can you uplift someone today is another question to ask. Take us out, A-Frame. Thank you.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye.